Hello students, today we start ninth unit of nutrition, that is rules of cooking and preservation of nutrients. So first of all, what is cooking? So definition is it's an art, technology and craft of preparing food with use of heat. In simple terms, it's preparing food with heat or fire. It's a method of transferring heat from heat source to the food material. And phylogenetic analysis suggests that human ancestors may have invented cooking as far back as 1.8 to 2.3 million years ago. Clear? Simple लिखा हुआ है. Next is the principles of cooking. So there are three principles of cooking: conduction, convection and radiations. So now what is conduction? Transfer of heat occurs through direct physical contact. Metals are good conductor of heat and examples are heating pan. Next is the convection and radiations. So boiling water is best example of convection. As heat water at the bottom moves up due to less density and cold water moves down due to high density. When heat is radiated, it travels in a straight line and object in its path become heated. Grilled is the best example. Next, see here, in conduction, energy is transferred by direct contact. Convection, energy is transferred by the mass motion of molecules. And in radiation, energy is transferred by electromagnetic radiation. Next is the methods of cooking and serving. So methods of cooking are subdivided into three types, that is the dry heat, moist heat and combination of dry heat and moist heat. So first is the dry heat. Cooking methods include broiling, grilling, roasting, baking, shortening, pan frying and deep frying. And moist heat methods include poaching, water or liquid, simmering, boiling and steaming. And combination methods include braising and stewing. First one is the poaching. It's a method of cooking technique that involve cooking by submerging food in, किसमें समर्स करते हैं फूड को, वाटर में एट लो टेम्परेचर. एग्जाम्पल्स आर बॉइलिंग एग्स. क्लियर. नेक्स्ट इज द सिमरिंग is a method of cooking in water at temperature below boiling point, clear, and above poaching temperature. Next is the boiling, cooking food in liquid at 100 degree of temperature, and food get cooked properly when it's bubble vigorously. Next is the steaming, food is being cooked with the help of steam or water vapor produced by boiling water. Next is the braising. It's a method of cooking in which first food is browned using fat and then liquid is added and steamed. Next is the stewing, similar to braising but generally used to cook smaller pieces of meat in less time. Clear? सो स्टूडेंट्स में बहुत सिंपल लैंग्वेज लिखी हुई है, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. नेक्स्ट इज द सर्विंग फूड. नेवर लीव मीट, पोल्ट्री, एग्स, फिश रॉ और कुक्ड at room temperature for more than 2 hours. If temperature outside is more than 32 degrees Celsius, then refrigerator within 1 hour. Clear? Store leftover is in small shallow container to cool rapidly. Do not reheat food that is contaminated. Reheating does not make it safe. Clear? Next, if you are not sure how long a food has been in the refrigerator, throw it out. Next is the, if you are not sure whether a food is safe, throw it out. And always clean the utensils and dishes that you used. Clear? Use hot boxes to pack the food so that it lasts long for fresh. Next is the safe food handling and storage of food. Buy vegetables whole, leaving leaves on, and stock in allow vitamin C to migrate to the edible part of the plant. Next, cook foods in the maximum amount of water or steam them. Use this mineral rich water, that is stock. Next is the avoid high cooking temperature and long heat exposure. Next, do not allow food to stand for long period at room temperature and do not store food at the warm places. ठीक है, food को warm places में store नहीं करना है. Next is the do not soak vegetables for long periods. Clear? And do not peel fruits or vegetables. Next is the preserving the nutrients of food with proper care. So first is the white rice. So students, white rice जो होते हैं बच्चे वो एनरिच होते हैं विटामिन्स में. ठीक है, like folate to improve its nutritional value. And additionally, white rice have low fiber content that may help with digestive issues. And second point is the dark green leafy vegetables and deep yellow vegetables have more vitamin A than light colored ones. Clear? Next is the cooked vegetables that are reheated after being kept in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days lose more than half their vitamin C. Next, except for pineapples, fruits ripened on the plants and in the sun have more vitamin C than those picked green. Next, in general, the longer food is stored in the refrigerator, freezer or cupboard, the greater the nutrient losses. ठीक है, जितनी देर तुम रेफ्रिजरेटर में फूड को जितने दिन के लिए स्टोर करके रखते हो उसमें न्यूट्रिएंट कंटेंट उतना ही क्या हो जाता है, कम हो जाता है. नेक्स्ट, ऑरेंज जूस कैन बी केप्ट रेफ्रिजरेटेड इन अ कवर्ड कंटेनर फॉर सेवरल डेज before any vitamin C is lost. Next is the 3 R's for nutrient preservation are to reduce the amount of water used in cooking. Next is the reduce the cooking time, and last one is the reduce the surface area of the food that is exposed. Next is the waterless cooking, pressure cooking, steaming, stir frying and microwaving are the least destructive of nutrients. Food is cooked in water, add it to a small amount of boiling water and covered the pot and cooked it rapidly. Next is the safe food handling. Do not wash rice before cooking it. The smaller the pieces food is cut into, the greater the chances of losing nutrients. On the other hand, smaller pieces means faster cooking. If possible, delay cutting up fruits and vegetables. Next is the do not cook green vegetables with baking soda since it destroys the thiamine and vitamin C. Next is the cooking in iron pot can destroy some amount of vitamin C, but it can also add nutritious iron to the food, especially if the food is acidic. Next is the cooking utensil made of glass, stainless steel, aluminium or enamel or lined with a non-stick coating have no effect on the nutrient content. The longer meat is roasted, the more thiamine B1 is lost. Next is the toxicity. Toxicity may occur due to not cooking food thoroughly, ड्यू टू इन्फेक्शन फ्रॉम एक्सटीरियर, इम्प्रॉपर अगर स्टोरेज है फूड की तो ठीक है, कीपिंग कुक्ड फूड अनरेफ्रिजरेटेड फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम एंड फूड टच्ड बाय इल. ठीक है, सो क्या होता है, टॉक्सिसिटी हो जाती है इन सभी केसेस में. नेक्स्ट इज द फूड प्रिजर्वेशन एंड इट्स मेथड. Food preservation is to prevent the growth of bacteria, fungi and other microorganisms as well as slowing the oxidation of fats that cause rancidity. क्लियर. नेक्स्ट इज द मॉडर्न मेथड्स. कौन कौन से आते हैं इसमें? पास्चराइजेशन, वैक्यूम पैकिंग, इरेडिएशन, बायो प्रिजर्वेशन एंड क्रायो प्रिजर्वेशन एट्सेट्रा. ठीक है, प्रिजर्वेशन की स्पेलिंग गलत है यहाँ पे क्रायो प्रिजर्वेशन में. नेक्स्ट इज द ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स में कौन कौन से आते हैं हमारे? ड्राइंग, कूलिंग, बॉइलिंग, सॉल्टिंग, शुगरिंग, स्मोकिंग, पिकलिंग, लाई, कैनिंग, जेलिंग, जगिंग, ब्यूरियल. First one is the drying. Vegetables and fruits are naturally dried by the sun. This will prevent decomposition of fruits as well as vegetables. Next is the cooling. Cooling preserves food by slowing down the growth and reproduction of the microorganism and the action of enzymes that causes the food to rot. Next is the boiling. Boiling liquid food items can kill any existing microbes like bacteria, viruses. Clear? Milk and water are often boiled to kill any harmful microbes that may be present in them. Next is the salting or curing draws moisture from a substance by osmosis. Clear? Next is the sugaring. Sugar is used to preserve fruits either in an antimicrobial syrup with fruits such as apples, pears, peaches, apricot, plum, or in crystallized foam where the preserved material is cooked in sugar to the point of crystallization and the resultant product is then stored dried. Sugar tend to draw water from the microbes, means plasmolysis करती है ये. Clear है? Next is the smoking. Smoking is used to lengthen the shelf life period of food items. ठीक है. It is achieved by exposing food to smoke by burning plant material. Next is the pickling. We all know that pickling is a method of preserving food in an edible antimicrobial liquid. The food is placed in an edible liquid that inhibit or kill the bacteria and other microorganisms. ठीक है. Next is the lye. Lye means sodium hydroxide makes food too alkaline for bacterial growth. ठीक है. सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड क्या है? अल्कलाइन इन नेचर है, बेसिक इन नेचर है, तो ये क्या करता है? फूड को क्या कर देता है? अल्कलाइन कर देता है फॉर बैक्टीरियल ग्रोथ. नेक्स्ट इज द कैनिंग. कैनिंग इन्वॉल्व्स कुकिंग फूड, सीलिंग इट in sterile cans or jar and boiling the container to kill or weaken any remaining bacteria as a form of sterilization. Next is the gelling. Food may be preserved by cooking in gelatin, agar, maize flour that solidify to form a gel. Next is the jugging. Meat can be preserved by jugging. Jugging is the process of sorry